were animals like dogs seen as true companions in our ancient times? Basically, how they were treated compared to today's time, especially in Mahabharata and Ramayana era. See, we know that the Indian species of dog, the Indian breed of dog, is the ancestor of all dogs, is the oldest breed of dog in the world, and it's been India for tens of thousands of years. It is a naturally evolved breed of dog. For example, in the West and other places, you have all these fancy dog breeds, Alsatians and German Shepherds and Dalmatians and Chihuahuas and Poodles and Pomeranians and what not. Great Danes, Saint Bernards, and all these dogs. These are all artificially bred species of dogs. No, not species, breeds of dogs. So they have been bred selectively to enhance certain traits. And these dogs everywhere in the world, these artificially bred breeds of dog, they are prone to various illnesses, etc. They don't live very healthy lives and all. The Indian breed of dog, this Indian street dog, the yellow brown dog, the pariah dog they call it. This is the world's oldest breed of dog. It's naturally evolved. It is naturally resistant to all kinds of illnesses and other problems. It is one of the most intelligent breeds of dog. It is the most social and friendly breed of dog, and it's always been around as long as Indian civilization has existed. So I don't know about the Ramayana time, but in the Mahabharata there is this very famous episode, right? After the war is over, the Pandavas are instructed to uh, renounce their kingdom because their duty is done, and the next generation is to take over, and they essentially go to the Himalayas to spend out their lives there and ascend to the summit of Mount Meru, which is where Swargalok is. So their work on the planet Earth is done. It is time for them to move on. So Bhim, Arjun, and the five brothers and Draupadi, the wife, they all move on to the Himalayas. They start crossing the Himalayas, and one after the other, these brothers and Draupadi also, they one after the other start dying because of the harsh conditions of the Himalayas. At the end, Yudhishthira is left with a companion who is a dog. So this dog started with these five, with these six at the beginning of the journey. At the end, only Yudhishthira is left with the dog. And Yudhishthira starts climbing the great mountain, Mount Meru or Mount Kailash, with the dog. The dog accompanies him everywhere. And when he's climbing the mountain, maybe he's like one third of the way up, Lord Indra himself comes on his chariot, on his flying chariot, and he tells Yudhishthira that your work is done. You don't need to climb all the way up. You just need to hop into my chariot. I'll take you to Swargaloka. So Yudhishthira says that, okay, I will do it. Let my dog get in first. So Lord Indra says, no, this is for you. It's not for the dog. So Yudhishthira refuses to climb on the chariot unless the dog is also allowed. He says that this dog has been faithful to me throughout my journey. I cannot betray this dog. He is my friend. He is my companion. And then the dog transforms into a human form, into the form of the great deity Dharma. And he says that you are the true Dharmaraj because you have always followed Dharma. So that kind of illustrates the relationship that we Indians and our ancestors for thousands of years have had with dogs. We have always cherished the dog as our best friend. It has been our companion for thousands of years. And this is brought out in the form of this little anecdote from the Mahabharata era. So, yeah, we have always, see, India has always been kind to animals compared to any other culture. For example, our Chinese neighbors, they are a more recent culture and civilization. They do not see compassion as one of the key components of their culture, and you can see that in the way they treat animals, which, well, I would not even want to talk about. Right? The treatment of animals is rather horrific. In contrast, in India, of course, people did eat meat forever. Essentially, I mean, if you look at ancient Stone Age, Iron Age archaeological artifacts, you do find fishing hooks and harpoons and all that, which was used in fishing and hunting. You do find these. You find depictions in the Bhimbekta caves, etc., of people hunting animals. So it has always been part of Indian culture, but cruelty has never been part of Indian culture. Indian culture has always been compassionate. Indian culture has always treated animals with compassion and dignity and love. Even when animals were hunted, there was no unnecessary cruelty, right? And dogs especially were our great companions for essentially forever. And that we can see in the story of Yudhishthir and his friend the dog, who so in Indian society and culture and civilization, dogs do go to heaven.